Me, you know what, we're not on camera, I'm still gonna get the fist bump. Dude,
Oh, baby.
Pleasure to be casting my first ever game with you, and what a game to be casting with. Epsilon taking on London Conspiracy. Truth CTF. We've just been talking, Ghost, about a little man called Doodle, or as we like to call him, P-Toodle. I think we're gonna be kicking things off at the moment with his POV.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, a man who enjoys controlling the carbine, he loves to grab himself a BR, generally just an all-out rifle guy. This time going straight on the objective, dives on in the base, pulls out the flag, will drop, but nice bit of aggression. No one even challenging whatsoever. Ramirez is going to pick up. It looks like we have a pause for just a second. So we're going to tone down this one and probably bring it back to us. But yeah, so we were talking before about these two teams.
Yep.
We do know. Hell, this is going to be a pretty decent matchup. Two pro teams. Obviously, out of all of these guys, you know, there is currently 4 players amongst these 8 that have already been to the Halo World Championships once before.
Yep. Yeah, and
Definitely can do it again.
Oh yeah, 100%. And not only that, but they all have, it's 2 on each team, right? So these guys have a chance at bringing in 2 more players, 2 new comers, if you will, to that Halo World Championship qualifier. So it's a big deal for both teams. They really got to prove kind of who's the better veteran half here. And to Golden Boy's point, though, talking about Snipe Drone and his sniper prowess, but how that's not going to really translate, obviously, to Truth. But I mean, we were just talking about it, Sims, how good Doodle is at Truth specifically. I mean, the guy is unbelievable at controlling the Pink 2 tower. And also the carbine, if you will. But this guy's been playing for quite a long time, ever since Halo 2. And so I don't doubt it at all that he's ready to play this true CTF game.
So as we look across these rosters, then London Conspiracy, Septic, Ramirez, Lunny, and Batchford. So I have to kind of allude to what Harry said. It's one team that I've not yet put in my top 3, and it's one team that they're not necessarily, it's rough to call them underdogs because they are pro-European players at the end of the day. So I'm not fancying the word underdogs, but I'm certainly fancying the one that I want to prove me wrong. You know, I've not necessarily put them up at that top level yet. However, they have more than the capabilities and the abilities to do it.
Yep.
Epsilon, on the other hand, again, not necessarily somebody and not necessarily a team that I put top 3. Snipe Drones had a rough few season finals. Summer and fall season finals wasn't the Snipe Drone of old. And generally, I've not kind of seen that since Worlds, to be honest with you. You know, since back in 2016, I've not seen that man step up, you know, to the level that we've seen before in past. And that's kind of when we look at North American Halo. We sent the Europeans in. Yeah, they came top 8, but it was a weird game style. It was a weird play style.
Yep.
And, you know, America was still kind of finding its feet. And as soon as everyone else seemed to did, he's kind of fallen under the bus, so to speak.
Yeah, 100%. He's kind of been left in that dust. And there are those players, right, that come out at the initial start of any game and really prove their worth. They're grinding, right? They're putting in all that practice time, and they have a team of other players that respect that grind as well. We've seen it all the way back to even Halo 2 when that game first came out, and you know, the little bit of the leak, right? And we all know about all those Halo leaks over the years. And yeah, there's always those teams that really come prepared for those first couple events. And there are some players that do get left behind if they don't, you know, maybe keep up with the new styles or yeah, just keep grinding themselves. So yeah, Snipe Drone, he just kind of fell to the wayside, unfortunately.
But he's there with Doodle. Doodle's been here as well.
Yep.
Back on Infuse. They made it out to the Halo World Championship. This time he's coming in with Corius and Vexus. Now, again, two, I don't want to say relatively new because they've been playing for a while, but certainly, definitely more up-and-comers and not your general mainstream names that you throw out there all the time. However, these guys are hard hitters online. You know, they do some damage. You match them in matchmaking, you're not going to win. They're very, very good players, but you just can't skip over that London Conspiracy roster, man. I mean, you know, Septic, Ramirez, Lunny, Batchford. Batch has just been getting better and better and better and better. Septic definitely got something to prove. Obviously, the unfortunate
100%.
choke back, and we actually sat there and watched it all unfold.
No.
We literally sat next to each other just watching everything happen on the dreadful Dignitas roast.
Yep.
Got something to prove, wants to go back there again. Again, didn't have the best fall season finals, was extremely ill, couldn't even talk. Didn't have the best game, Hopefully this time they can check it off, but I believe that I think the game has just got underway. So Ghost, we're going to dive back in. We're going to stick with Doodle once again, as we said previously. Let's see what he can do.
I mean, it looks identical, right? He went over Car's side. He's pushed in. Does he get this kill on Car 1? He doesn't. Batchford actually cleans him up. So we're going to jump on board with him and see what he can do.
He's going to miss that last shot, unfortunately, indeed. But Batchy getting aggressive, going to get shot straight off of the spawn. Though, unfortunately, one person's going to fall back out of there. Two of his teammates are there to help as well. Lunny will get dropped, though. That's a double kill coming out of, I believe it was actually Ramirez. Sat down here with the sword now. They're going to see the flag drop. The return is going to come in. Will get the scope in as well, and the slice. Player jumping up there, half shield tagged up. Will dive into Eli. Grenade's going to come in thick and fast there. But jumping up half shields, it's always going to end in terror when a grenade lands at your feet.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Quad just threw a perfect grenade. Ramirez was getting a little bit cocky, right, jumping up in the attic. He had the sword out the entire time, even though the player knew that he was going to keep that distance. So just a little bit weird for him to kind of just stay up in there and so with such a close range weapon.
Look at that, very creepy, jumping up behind him, didn't even know we were there, didn't even turn around once, but then again, when someone's drilling in the back of the head with the BI, you don't really have much time whatsoever. The flags are going to be on the way. We're going to see a double kill coming out of Ramirez, just hiding, kind of, just, not necessarily hiding, but just hanging back on this P side. Flag will move in on the opposing car side. He's there to cover anybody who wants to challenge it, and all of a sudden there we have it, London Conspiracy sliding in that first cap. 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, sorry, 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game. Look at the radar, one thick dot above him. That's going to be on P3. Someone sliding up into P2, doesn't quite get the back smack, hits him in the side instead as he dives out. Quad and Vexus on the kill feed as well, picking up 2 kills of their own. And now we here see Vexus just kind of holding down P3, but he needs to be extremely careful, especially if anybody wants to challenge from top mid and just wipe him out. Because when you're up there, I mean, time and time again, back in the days, when you're up on P3, you're just an open target.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even though it's you know, a very strong position, you still have to be extremely wary of really all the angles that the enemies can hit you from, right? There's so many different spawn points and in lines of sight that players can obviously hit you from. So you just got to do your civic duty, stay alive, get your health back, get your shields back, and get back into pink 2, jump back out. There's so many ways to play it. I'll give a shout out to Gandhi, as he was so damn good at it.
3 members of London Conspiracy will drop. Snipe Drone also gets a sword to the jawline. Down he goes. Sword's going to be creeping around P2 now. He does have no shields. He's up on P3. They're all fully back. And here comes the pull. Remember, guys, you do run a hell of a lot faster when you got this sword in hand. He's getting shot in the back. His teammates there to take him down. It's going to be Ramirez with the carbine. And all of a sudden, we are up 2-0. London Conspiracy really showing dominant performance here on Truth CTF. And just look at Batchford. He has absolutely no fear. Straight rotation. Again, you know what? I've got a sword. Give me the flag. I'll run it. Happy days. He's getting all tanked up, looking for some support. But look at that pause. He just throws the flag, goes, pause for a second. His teammate's there. Will he get it in? No, he doesn't. That's going to be a pull. Is it going to be a return? There's another player in there as well, hopefully looking to try and get that return. And I think, no, it's actually going to get, is it going to get touched? No, it's actually going to get picked up.
It's been insane. I mean, it looks like it's just going back and forth right now. We saw Vex get a huge flag pull and obviously staying live just long enough for Quad to then kind of rally this flag, and now we're a little bit of a standoff. So hopefully these guys on Epsilon can try and slow this game down.
Yeah, Quad really needs to put this one in. We're going to see London Conspiracy picking up 2. He'll answer back with at least 1 of his own. Ground pound's coming in. You can hear it getting teed up, and he did hear it indeed. That's why he moved forward. The secondary stall will appear above him. His teammates at least get that kill to clear out the base, so he's got some sort of breathing room. But when you're in a standoff situation like this and you're literally 1 flag away from losing the first map, you need to be extremely careful. Using his Magnum to his best of advantage, looking outside the window, trying to take down Ramirez. It'll be a nice, easy, clean kill if he gets it, which he does indeed. More shots on the window also. But again, I mean, in this position, Ghost, it's literally just waiting to see if your teammates can help you out and get that one. This next camo is going to be quite important because time and time again, we'll see people bagging themselves a camo, and ultimately, if it's a flag game, sneaking the way into the base.
And it looks like the camo was grabbed. I believe that was by Lunny. Yep, we're going to hop on board with him now. That camo is very crucial. It seems like players weren't 100% aware of what time it was specifically coming up, but obviously we saw London Conspiracy grab it nonetheless.
Looking across now. they actually do see him right at the very end there. Doodle will start to tag him up. Flag still both in a stalemate situation. I don't think he's caught for him though, so this is very sneaky. And look at the collapse. 2 members of London Conspiracy dive on in, the jump on the flag. There's the return, there's the capture. 3-0 London Conspiracy. What a way to kick off game number 1.
I have to call some players out over on the opposite roster.
Here we go then.
I mean, that was an odd match of sorts right there in the end, because we saw all these players excuse me. Yep, let me go over here. So yeah, we saw all these players, excuse me, just kind of chase underneath the base, right? They saw the camo player and they're thinking, oh, he must be going under. We got to kill the camo guy. And they they weren't even worried about their own flag guy on top of the base. Both players dropped under, and obviously there was a lack of communication there because they needed to cover Batchford on the flag.
Oh, Doodle. 3. Fair enough, 10 assists. I'll give Danish Daniel that one. 3 and 13, though, not the best of statistics. 10 and 14 for Septic and Ramirez. Everybody on London Conspiracy going positive. In fact, no, Batchford going neutral, but you could see the work he was doing with the sword at the end there. Vex hitting 10 kills, unfortunately 12 deaths. The only one on his team of Epsilon hitting double-digit figures. So, necessarily, you know, it was a bit of a whitewash. I can't lie about that one. You've got to shake your heads off. We're next going to be moving into a Slayer matchup. I believe it's going to be Eden. Ghost, talk to me about Eden Slayer.
I think that this is really going to be a time for Snipe Drone to really step up. We know that we've seen him in the past. I know that it might not be of recent history, but we've seen him in the past have some amazing sniper shots. That's where he got his name from, right? And it seems like he's going to really have to try and command this next match into his favor for his team. But Doodle, I think, is someone that we need to really kind of point out here. Sometimes a player like that it gets into the groove of doing too much. I find myself doing the same sometimes when you first get into the first game of the weekend or maybe the day, and you're firing on all cylinders, and maybe your teamwork isn't just warmed up just yet. You're overcompensating for some missed call-outs. Next thing you know, you go 3 and 13. Now, yep, he's still got 10 assists, but I think it's time for him to kind of ease back into where his teammates' flow is at, not give away so many deaths. Even though it was capture the flag game, he's got a Slayer coming up next, so he needs to make sure that he gets those kills and saves those deaths. I
mean, time and time again we do say this, but it's not necessarily all about the KD when you look at capture the flag map. 3 and 13, it would have been absolutely fine if they'd have won the matchup, but when you're doing that and you're losing it as well, you kind of need to ask yourself, all right, a few more kills, would we have lost it that badly? Because that was a beating, you know?
Oh,
that's a big beating, especially when these are 2 teams what are both, in my opinion, both potential contenders for 1st and 2nd place here, which, again, 1st and 2nd place, they're going to Worlds.
Oh, and I mean, what better way to do it for either of these 2 teams, right? We just talked about earlier how there's 4 out of these 8 players, 2 on each team, who have been to Worlds, and then obviously 4 that haven't. So I'm sure these guys have really kind of put that type of vision in the eyes of their teammates, trying to say, hey, we can actually do this. We can go to the World Championships in Halo, so let's do it.
All right then, guys, welcome along. If you are just joining us, it is an absolute pleasure to have you here, even in the audience or at home watching in the Twitch chat. We are on map number 2. This is Eden Slayer London Conspiracy, currently 1-0 up against Epsilon eSports with a magnificent 3-0 on Truth CTF. On board with Snipe Drone, SMGG in hand. Look at that stall Ghost to avoid the rockets. What a clutch play coming out of him to get the kill. Rocket went below him, just did not find its target. Does go down, but cheeky snap from him to at least put the rocket guy out of his misery.
Yeah, that was a big play by him. It seemed like they actually kind of took, it's a strat that we used to do back in the old Carbon Sanctuary CTF days, which is leave Sniper over at the tower and just rush for that center controls. We saw Sniper, who's normally going for the sniper, he just rushed right for the rockets, and actually a pretty good strat in my opinion, but unfortunately the other 3 teammates of his got cleaned up in the process, and then he did obviously subsequently.
From the back of that, within a few seconds, the entirety of Epsilon did get dropped. Only 2 answered back from London Conspiracy. A firework just gets sent down from the gods. Down goes Vexus, now 5-2. We're looking at the kill feed, no other ones further from that. There's quite a lot of noise coming over here on red side. It's going to be Ramirez with his little SMG in his back pocket, but it's all about this man, Lunny. It might be good if we can jump on board with spectator mode in just a second to show you guys the player outlines at home, so we can see kind of through the eyes, well, not through the eyes because he can't see the outlines, but at least we can, and try and get you some of those players popping up on screen. One does dive up here on the nest. No scope beatdown. Okay. See you later, my friend. Vexus will get dropped. And yeah. What a way to tell him, my friend.
A little bit of, I know you guys like your tea out here, so it's pretty, it's pretty,
well done.
Pretty good to see.
Scoping through, it's going to be quad. Unfortunately, misses a stud still target, which is quite upsetting. Now, I've been told is that a London Conspiracy listening is ready, and as things are going to be quite quiet and quite slow on this map, I do believe. You know what, let's dive on in and have a listen to what the guys on that team have to say.
Lobby, watch the lobby.
Red high, I can't challenge, man. 2 red high, I got still out.
Watch the lobby.
Absolutely back.
Lobby's up, and I've got behind me, blue high. Go on. Blue high. Half shield, blue high. He's got absolute blue sneaking.
He's got rockets.
Got rockets.
Side blue sneaking.
Here.
Outside blue. Outside blue sniping.
I hear. I got rockets. Stay alive.
Wait, respawn bed. Respawn bed.
You guys drop tower, please. Someone stay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tower.
Rob's on the ramp.
Don't push. Don't push.
One's blue BR. Blue BR.
Should be alright, bro.
They've got snipe. Do not push.
You'll
hear that, yeah?
Yeah. Tower, one speaking tower. Two in tower.
Hey, Rob, I'm going top down. I think there might be 3. Vexus is weak at tower.
Hell no.
I'll be chatting.
Nice kill, man.
No,
two there. They're above me.
Yeah, blue cage. Jones weak.
Jones weak.
Blue castle. They might wrap.
Blue
Slate to blue man.
I got one.
They're gonna wrap slate to blue man.
Blue not sniping.
He can go for this.
Where's he going? Another guy in there.
Basement weak. Blue basement weak. I got snipe.
Blue can't be, man.
I'm gonna take these rockets to tower.
Did we get the snipe?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm holding tower here.
We might not want to get it straight away, Ryan. I'm not sure though.
What's that side?
I spawned red base.
Me and Case are wrapping behind bed.
Yeah. Watch the blue banner.
Don't worry about that snipe.
Go on blue banner.
We have to get it. It's cool.
2 lobby.
2 lobby. Don't die, Case.
Pinch each other.
Watch chasing you, Case.
Lob's going for snipe.
Mike's in lobby weak.
Got one, where else?
Lobby.
Come behind him.
Red
outside, one shot, help me.
Mike's weak, are you?
Doodle's out.
Behind me. Rocket's on my lobby. Where's Guy Vex? Where's Doodle?
I know where Doodle is.
Rocket's down in lobby. Red high.
Shot red man.
Careful here.
He can't. Lobby.
Shots.
Lobby now.
Shot blue sneaky.
I'll get him.
On me, Casey.
Watch your red side.
Blue
Rockets still
really like Casey's blue cuts, I think.
He was one shot.
I got rocks.
There's a snipe on my body.
I need to roll this.
Just try and get this snipe on my body. Blue outside. Two in lobby.
Lobby weak. Rockets still done. Still done outside.
Blue sneaky.
One shot pick. Someone's
weak.
Mike's weak.
I don't want to bump me, guys.
Yep. He's two on me right now.
Very commanding lead here for London Conspiracy. 25-13. Ground pound town is queued up as Quad comes in to steal the rockets and bang himself a double kill for good footing as well. The triples there, but there's also some rockets in the hands of him. Can he? That's a clutch kill. He's going to get some ammo as well, so there's going to be quite a nice little care package there should any player manage to pick it up, which I believe Ghost is actually a member of Epsilon that is going to get those rockets. So at the moment they need as many power weapons they can get because 26-17, that's not a good scoreline.
Oh, not at all. And when you have Lunny now with the sniper again, he just is going to be able to maintain control of the security side of this map, right? He knows that his teammate just died, but thankfully got cleaned up. But it just seems like he's rotating around to this blue tower, this blue base, which we all know and love. It's so crucial for snipe control.
Looking around, just putting his grenades down, trying to get some hit markers, and the amount of times you'll see someone just... All these corners you can see, I mean, these are the ones in matchmaking where people just peep and creep, jumping up. Look, ooh, catches a shoulder, almost catches a face as well, so 2 members are going to get called out. His teammate Ramirez, his body will hit the floor as the SMG comes in from Quad. Bachelor does pick up Vexus, but look at this push. 3 aggressive players just going in. He's a key target, is Lunny to take down. Ground pounds the barrel, unfortunately.
Oh goodness.
Personally, it might have been, in my opinion, Ghost, about you, better to take that sniper rifle and get the hell out of there. When you see 3 players, just emergency exit.
100%. When his player died with him, his teammate died with him in the base, I mean, that is the initial cue that you need to run over to the tower, to the security side of the map. You need to get there as soon as possible. And he did not do that. Instead, he ground pounded. And I mean, that's like the complete opposite, right? And it's 2017. We can't be doing those types of plays right now. You got to start rotating, man.
However, in his defense, the call-out may have been stay there because all of a sudden, off of the death screen, his teammates came in. They cleaned up the 3 that were in there. The sniper rifle stayed. Lo and behold, the sniper and, you know, the blue control still in the hands of London Conspiracy. This is like Duck Hunt at the moment. 1, 2, 3 members of Epsilon all show the face, the standing ground, not managing to hit those shots, the very important ones, directly between the eyeballs, square in the face. Rocket comes in, doesn't find a target, but he's all going to be tagged up. The grenade does find the target to finish off the kill. 1 player coming down onto the old OS platform. Surprised, he's challenging this one. Reversal comes in though. Septic wants the kill. really putting the pain train on here for Epsilon.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a big statement right there for Septic to go out and also secure that kill. I think he was going up against the battle rifles, so we all know that the BR has a little bit of greater ease with that headshot. So for Septic to challenge it and come out on top, just a big play out of him.
So the biggest issue here, Ghost, and I've got to ask, you know, Epsilon, they're down by 14 kills. Look at London Conspiracy. They've got red control. They're just pinned back into blue. How do you break this setup without giving away too many deaths?
I mean, it's when you watch some of the top teams playing over in NA, right? We see Optic and Envy get in these situations quite a bit, and what they do is they kind of turtle, right? They might have an angle where two players are specifically waiting for a guy to peek, and they have two players looking, and they just drill him and get him down. As soon as they get one down, they push and they collapse. But the problem is when you have some of these other teams that are looking to make this comeback, they don't take that aggression. They don't get one down and then push and collapse. Instead, they kind of get a kill and trying to start climb back kill by kill, but it doesn't work that way. You have to start collapsing. You have to change the momentum in your favor if you're trying to win.
Look at that. Lunny just comes in clutch to save Ramirez's ass with that sniper rifle, so he's allowed to roam freely. Still up on top catwalk. Try and pick off the spawners, moving over from red elbow. There's one, misses the shot, but it doesn't matter. He's forced to move backwards. 43 to 27 at this moment in time. There's no pressure. It's just find the kills, kill for kill, trade for trade, whatever you need to do. Hit the magic number of 50. 4 minutes to do it within. Absolutely zero pressure. Easy game.
And Ramirez right now, watch, he actually pushed back outside. Now, the reason he pushed to that corner is to actually block the spawns from that blue bend. He knew that the rest of his team was pushing towards red, and he wanted to ensure that the enemy spawns were actually closer to blue tower, closer to blue base, and he did just that. He set himself up, and now you see him just kind of taking the old Walshy route, charge because we can't lose.
And that's because Lunny comes in, not only with the double, finishes it off as well. 3 out of the 4 rockets at the end, bags them, seals the deal on the kill. Hand fist pumps all around. London Conspiracy will take game number 2. Epsilon not looking in the best of shapes. We'll bring up the kills in a moment just to show you guys just how much a certain player is struggling. And the one that's struggling once again, Mr. Doodle, 4 and 12, not the best of stats when you just dropped 3 and 13 previous, but Septic, once again, big Robbie Singleton, 17 and 6. What a game coming out of him, 14 and 6 below him. For Lunny, Batchford again with the assists, racking up 12, and Ramirez 9 and 7. Not the biggest of positives, but who cares when it's all about the win?
Oh, I mean, we just saw just a ridiculous matchup right there. It just seemed like London Conspiracy seriously outclassed Epsilon in that game type as well as the first one. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because Snipe Drone maybe didn't grab that sniper off the start. It was something I was fond of seeing at first, thinking, oh yeah, they're gonna give up snipe and worry about rockets and then get it later. But when all 3 of his teammates died, then it just spelled almost like certain doom, right? It was an odd feeling for him. He's found bottom middle, and when your initial strat that you've clearly those guys have worked tirelessly on that, and they've been saving that type of a strategy, because I haven't seen that really in any sense of whether EU Halo or NA Halo, and it's something, like I said, I'm very I like it because it's something that we used to do back in the day. So it's weird that it just didn't work out for him, and then that kind of snowballed out of control. We saw a couple missed rockets, right? We saw a couple missed sniper opportunities. I wouldn't even say missed snipes, but just a lot of players, at home watching, they'll kind of just pick apart the sniper shots. They'll say, oh, he whiffed, he missed. But some of the top players watching from home will, a lot more of the times, talk about their positioning, right? Oh, he needs to rotate here. He needs to get angles from there. I even watched, I think, a clip from Frosty last night where he took an insane angle uncommonly and just peered into red base on Eden Slayer and took his face, at a complete standstill. So it's those angles that will actually win you those games, the ones that are a little bit more unorthodox. So we saw those coming out of the red team.
And it's those kind of players, you just know that those guys that managed to pull them off, they've literally been sat in custom games, just booting up maps, trying every single jump, every single angle, just looking at weird and wonderful places. And hopefully no one's seen them before. But if you are just joining us, guys, welcome along. The next game on screen will be the Rig Stronghold. You can see the series layout there. London Conspiracy, Truth CTF, they swept that one 3-0, and almost the same again with a 50-28. Another complete whitewash as we move into game number 3, and what could be the decider for Epsilon. Do they want to go down to losers? Do they want to move up to winners? They have to win this if they want to look at the latter. But unfortunately, loser bracket, it's well and truly staring down the barrel, Ghost.
Oh, I mean, and it's scary. I mean, you're looking at Rig Strongholds and Fathom CTF and even Coliseum Slayer. Those first two, especially Rig and Rig Strongholds, I think is just, it's worrisome for these guys. Right now, the collapse is real. It seems like the teamwork is on point. And yeah, you just got to be a little bit concerned.
Let's see how this one goes down then. We'll kick things off with Batchford's POV. Will challenge Vexus. Thankfully, misses. Well, Vexus actually missed that last shot because Batchford are also whipping a few. We'll take out the barrel so he doesn't get blown up by any further grenades as he moves out here on to Nest, looking to try and secure this one down. Pre-nading, I like that. Pre-nade the Whitehall. You know where they're going to be coming through. It's going to be Vexus challenging once again. Move across to Ramirez. Railgun takes down Snipe Drone, so they're going to be able to clear out base, which also helps his teammate to be able to take that one back. That's going to be Septic who makes that his own. One player dropping down into the pipes. So, Ghost, talk to me. This map, let's not look at the, a map like, sorry, let's not look at the game types, look at the rig as a whole. Where do you want to be going? Where do you want to be locking down? What do you want to be doing?
I mean, right now you see Septic is trying to do his best to anchor, but he's well aware that these players are pushing over onto yellow corner. Obviously, due to the radar, he saw 3 blips moving over, and he just is holding that down with the scatter shot. Great plays by him. And that's something that a lot of top players will mention, and they'll say, okay, well, when the rest of the opponents are kind of pushing towards that open field and Whitehall and catwalks, it's time for us to kind of collapse on this yellow corner and make something out of nothing, but was not the case there for them.
Unfortunately, it does get dropped, so Scatter will fall into the hands of Epsilon, I believe. It did. That was also a triple kill coming out of, I'm not entirely sure which member, it must have been a member of London Conspiracy. It was indeed, that was Batchford with the triple, so putting the pain train back onto Epsilon for all but a moment. They do take basement. But once again, Ramirez with the railgun checking basement. Anyone's there, they're going to get completely lit up. 2 members of Epsilon will move over to the nest to try and make something of that. Lonnie's down to support Ramirez as well. And all of a sudden, once again, Ghosts were back into the tri-cap. At the moment, Epsilon, they just can't catch a break.
I mean, this is scary, right? We know the railgun's coming up, right? They're about to grab it because they just wasted the last rail right there at the 10-minute mark, which is a huge deal. And not only that, but we know the camo is coming up. I believe it's coming up in about 13 seconds. So we're going to have to wait and see who grabs that. Septic doing his best to control this Whitehall area. Snipe Drone getting that scatter shot off the map, so that's pretty convenient, as Septic might not be able to get camo and scatter shot this time around, but you do have to be wary about that storm rifle, which is also in the pits.
However, they can throw the hands up their head, say they're not getting goosed this one. They're not actually going to get goosed in a game of Strongholds, which we have seen it before, because this game type is absolutely wild. They get 3 points on the board, but once again, as soon as they do that, London Conspiracy, not today, my friends. They turn around, they turn 2, they put 2 more plots in the board. Batchford will drop down for the storm rifle, camo in hand as well. The player before didn't see him as he jumps up to the headshot, and he did take him down. So now all of a sudden he just rotates back over. No one's in basement, no one's challenging me, no one knows where I am. This is an easy cap for me. One person does come down and hands him a free railgun.
What was that, Quad? I mean, come on, my man. You just go right down in there with railgun. I mean, you don't know if he has camo or scatter or obviously storm rifle. And yeah, that was just a questionable decision right there by Quad. I'm not sure if he got a call out or someone was kind of stressing it, but just a weird play.
Batchford's ego kicks in as he does give some cheeky body beat down, running wild things and doing awful things to Epsilon. No, don't do it. That'd have been sick. Vex will at least answer back with a double kill, but Lunny shuts him down instantly. Snipe Drone takes him down, so that's going to be 3 members down now for London Conspiracy. But the tri-cap, it's well and truly in effect. It's doing its damage. And is he good? Oh, he did kill him. Thank God that he had a teammate to at least save the BR base and take it back, because he was making a mockery out of that player. Yeah,
I thought that it was just going to be dragged out right there. Thankfully, not the case, as now Epsilon is pushing to try and maybe get a triple cap, it seems. Vexus looks like he just fell a little bit accidentally, but still able to stay on the map now, as he's going to try and get back into this Whitehall with the scatter shot. We know how strong it can be if utilized correctly, and he's just going to do really his best to stay alive, it seems like, right here.
I mean, I've got to, this is looking dangerously over at this moment in time, Ghost, but I've got to say, like, in their position that they don't really have map control, they don't have weapon control, they don't have any kind of control. you've obviously got to push the triple cap over and over again as much as possible as a team. For these guys, would you just like to try and see them keep 2, though, and just keep moving around?
It just seems like Epsilon, I mean, as much as they are moving around, they're just doing it at an individual rate, right? They're staying alive. And it doesn't seem like it's in the right situation. Right there, we just saw the active camouflage was not picked up. Who was that? I believe that was Vex. And now it looks like Septic on London Conspiracy picks it up. So we're looking at 3 power-up pickups to 0 for this London Conspiracy roster.
But a tri-cap for the hands of Epsilon. Finally, they're getting some serious time on the board, but they need to keep this. They need to keep killing, keep go, go, go. Really hit London Conspiracy where it hurts. Get a quick reset on base, which is what he does. That's going to be Quad's POV. Now he's going to move on to the outskirts, take a quick look who's wandering around, checks. Yeah, he's going to check long. No one's down there whatsoever. He's got his teammate Vexus down there as well, so just keep an eye on Nest. And this is what we mentioned before. They're not actually pushing that basement plot. They're not pushing the 3. They're just going to try and keep the 2, get some points.
Nades.
What a grenade from Lunny, though, as you mentioned. Ramirez picks up 1 as well. 1, 2, 3 members of Epsilon are dead once again.
That looked like a perfectly executed strat that they had tried in the past, Sims. Just, they knew almost where the enemy players were waiting for. I mean, obviously, there's a couple hit ticks that came in to change that little move. But at the end of the day, it seemed like London Conspiracy was well aware of their plan. They didn't want to give up, you know, any free deaths, and they did just that. So props to them.
Well, I was hoping for a much better game, to be honest with you, but you know, they've come out to play. London Conspiracy are the real
That's a big loss.
deal. Fair enough, it's not over yet, but this is looking good for them. Ramirez is going to capture BR base as he moves forward, just going to push down on barrels, probably look to try and lock up the triple again. They only need 4 more points, but at least they do. No, 1, 2, 3. This is painful. They are all over them.
It just seems like London Conspiracy is in complete control. Epsilon is just flailing their arms trying to get into a stronghold, and they are just dying at every chance. So Ramirez just really controlling the whole map as he moves around. Oh my God, almost got ninja'd on him by his own accord, but thankfully takes down Vex without losing any self-respect.
Yeah, it turns around for just a second. Almost happened. 99, ticking it over. And they have it, ladies and gentlemen. London Conspiracy 3-0 Epsilon eSports. What a way to open their first match on main stage. Me personally didn't expect that coming out from them, but they're here to play. They want to, you know, everybody wants a trip to Worlds, but what a stunning performance. Let's bring up the kills and show you guys who was doing the damage. Batchy, we call him Railford here in the UK because he just gets that weapon and goes off with it. Snipe Drone did step up. I'll give him that one, 15-8. 11 and 13 coming out of Lunny. Take a look at some of the medals as well. Not seeing too much spectacular. 10 and 8. It's going to be Snipe Drone with the triple also, but yeah. I mean, any last thoughts for you on that one, Ghost?
No, I mean, it was just, it seemed like it was just all London Conspiracy the whole way through. We did see Snipe Down put up some good DMR kills, but at the end of the day, it was just not enough to push his team in the right direction.
All right, then, guys. Well, there you have it. Congratulations to London Conspiracy. They will continue on in the winners bracket, but